so excited to see so many people out here on a Monday morning. Thank you. Welcome to Wistariahurst, and thank you all for joining us as we celebrate Civic Learning Week, a time dedicated to recognizing the vital role that civic education plays in preparing young people to participate thoughtfully and responsibly in our democracy. Today, we are honored to be joined by distinguished leaders who share a deep commitment to education and community engagement. Senator John Velis, who's represented by Bridget Healy, State Representative Pat Duffy, and Mayor Joshua Garcia. Their support highlights how important civic learning is not only in our classrooms, but across our entire community. We also gather today for a very special purpose, to recognize two outstanding educators who embody the spirit of civic learning with their students. Dr. Vanessa Martínez and Nick Cream have gone above and beyond to inspire their students to think critically, engage respectfully with different perspectives, and understand their role as active citizens. Their dedication and thoughtful teaching will have a lasting impact on students as they enter our community and shape a better future. I'm just going to read their bios to give you a little bit of background on them. So Nick Cream was born and grew up in central New Jersey and received his bachelor's degree in history and philosophy from Hobart and William Smith colleges. From there, he taught English and skiing in Japan for 18 months before returning to graduate school. For about 8 years, he worked in higher education, doing work related to student affairs and residential life, with a focus on anti-racism and anti-oppression training for staff, faculty, and students. Since 2020, he has been an ethnic studies history teacher at Dean Technical High School. In 2024, he was elected as president of the Holyoke Teachers Association and continues to serve in this role. His passion includes anything related to social justice, running, hiking, and birding. His teaching philosophy is rooted in the liberatory education that provides space for students of all identities, backgrounds, and experiences. He loves his family very much, his partner and wife, Carrie, and their sweet dog, Raven. And then Vanessa Martínez, originally from San Sebastian, Puerto Rico. Vanessa E. Martínez Renuncio, PhD, doctor, is an experienced health anthropologist, professor, trainer, nonprofit professional, and leader in the areas of equity, cultural humility, and culturally responsive pedagogy. With over 20 years of experience working in higher education colleges, her focus has been on building campus and community-wide equity initiatives and programs to support student retention, graduation, transfer, and workforce development. Vanessa has trained faculty, nonprofit, and health professionals and researchers for over 14 years. As a professor, she engages students as storytellers, question askers, and knowledge producers, showing how learning and critical thinking flows in multiple directions, whether it is teacher to student, student to teacher, student to student, and or student to self. She received her master's in applied health anthropology from Georgia State University in 2002 and her PhD in anthropology from the University of Massachusetts Amherst in 2014. She has received numerous awards for her community engaged teaching, and civic leadership. She is the co-founder of the Women of Color Healthy Equity Collective, a movement-building nonprofit in Western Massachusetts whose mission is to ensure girls and women of color are able to achieve optimal health. She is also the chair of the Hamden City Commission on the status of women and girls. And that we are so lucky to have these two amazing educators right in our own backyard. Civic education is about empowering students to participate, lead, and contribute to the communities they call home. Teachers like Vanessa and Nick make that possible by bringing these lessons to life and showing their students their voices truly matter. Today, we celebrate their commitment, thank them for their impact, and reaffirm our shared responsibility to support civic learning in our schools and community. Thank you all so much for being here and to help us recognize these two individuals.
Good morning, everybody. It's my turn. So our system of government, from what I have learned to date from a young child and through my journey and experiences growing, it's a system that I've came around and have greatly appreciated. It's one that we have that allows a community of differences from every corner of our country to coexist. But it's also a system that is extremely complicated, as we know, from U.S. history, world history even, considering the inequalities and how certain groups and people navigate that system to improve the quality of life of people, to do what we can to be better human beings and how we respond and provide services to constituencies. And my journey started as young as 6, 7 years old. Did you get that? Did you get that? She did it, 6, 7 years old.
He's 6'7".
6'7".
Outside of school. I thought it was in school.
Although you're not as tall as people said you were, though, I gotta say. I was a youth participant. I grew up in South Holyoke. I was a little punk running around the streets of South Holyoke, our poorest neighborhood in the city per the census tract data. And I was a youth participant in a program called El Alcoides. And I'm not sure if many of you are familiar with El Alcoides of Nueva Esperanza. Excellent. And so we were brought into this room. It was a long table, and they had a long piece of paper on that table, and they said, okay, we want you guys to draw on this, because whatever you draw, we're going to put it on a building as a mural. And so I was sitting at the end of that table not knowing what I was going to put on there, and everyone's kind of going to town doing what they're doing. So the counselor comes up, and she's like, well, what's important to you? Who are you, and what represents you? And I said, well, I'm Puerto Rican, and I'm also American.
Oh,
So she was like, oh, well, do something around that. So I did something very simple as a 6, 7-year-old. I drew the 2 flags. Here's the paper, the 2 flags right here on the side of the mural. What I didn't know was the etiquette of how to put the flags. So I happened to put the Puerto Rican flag coming down this way above the American flag like this. And there was a lady running for state rep at that time. I won't mention names. It wasn't Pat Duffy. Who took this issue at a level that, and it's debatable, and we can have a conversation. It's an important one. It was a learning experience. I didn't know what was going on. But as I grew and got to learn from my leaders, it was an important conversation about, the issue, the matter, the level that this particular candidate was bringing it up to, and just concerns about inequality and inequities and institutionalized and structural racism and things of that nature. And that was my journey. And from then on, I've taken on every leadership role as a youth in this community, and I'm so grateful and happy to see Palante doing what they're doing, and programs like ethnic studies doing what they're doing. Regardless of how uncomfortable the conversations might have been in the community when you bring things up, it's important, it's critical, it's one that helps add value to the greater conversation, so that as leaders, we can come around and try to make better decisions. Now, are the decisions ever going to be the perfect one? No. I mean, I can tell you right now, as the mayor, I dealt with anything and everything that's come my way, and it's okay. I deal with them very patiently because I understand. And I think I largely understand because of my experiences growing up as a kid, as a teenager, as a young adult, and understanding how our process of government is complicated, and sometimes we have to be intentional in our process so that we're acknowledging, that we're listening, and that we're doing what we can in that process to be a little bit better in our response to the issues in front of us when it comes to issues around systematic racism, inclusivity, and the forth. So the educators being acknowledged today are the leaders of today that continue that conversation that people before us have started, people like Carlos Vega and other folks in our community that are widely known, who have been the earlier good trouble in our community, that has certainly paved the way for guys like me to take on the leadership roles, folks like our educators in front of us we're honoring today, to teach the next generation, so that we're trying to make our system of control of what it means to self-govern ourselves, to make that process just a little bit better than what it was left before us. So I do have proclamations here. I don't know if it's that time Megan, to give that, or? So the first proclamation I have here, and these are special. You can frame it, put it in your living rooms, and so you can remember me forever. And the first one I have is for Mayor Proclamation, particularly for Civic Learning Week in Holyoke. Our nation's long-standing audacious experiment in self-governance requires a populace with an understanding of the nation's laws and government, the skills for discussion and working together across differences, and a commitment to civic strength. And whereas the practice of democracy must be taught and learned anew by each generation, and educators in schools play a central role in the essential daily work to support young people in their development of an informed and empowered civic identity. And whereas Civic Learning Week seeks to unite our community and highlight the importance of civic knowledge, skills, and dispositions that provide the foundation for an informed and engaged populace. And whereas Vanessa Martínez, professor of anthropology at Holyoke Community College, has prioritized civic learning, and Nicholas Cream, ethnic studies and history teacher at Dean Technical High School and president of the Holyoke Teachers Association, has also encouraged civic learning and participation. Now therefore be it resolved that the second full week of March 26th shall be recognized City Learning Week in Holyoke, and I, Joshua A. Garcia, Mayor of Holyoke, extend my appreciation to the students, volunteers, and professionals who prioritize this initiative within our community. That's proclamation number one. Proclamation number two is to, on behalf of the citizens of Holyoke, Massachusetts, Mayor Joshua Garcia, hereby, in a very big way, congratulate Nicholas Cream for being recognized during Civic Learning Week for prioritizing civic learning. Nicholas Cream is the ethnic studies and history teacher, Dean Tech High School, and president of HTA. He's encouraged civic learning and participation throughout his career. Mr. Cream has taught his students about the importance of civic engagement. He's also advocated for teachers in his community, striving to improve education in Holyoke. There's my signature, Nick. You can frame this, put it in your living room. I hope your partner lets you. Congratulations, Nick, and thank you. Thank you. And lastly, but not the least, because we know there are a lot of people out there, whether in the classroom, running a program in our community with our local nonprofits, working in our government, there are people out there that are doing the work, but we want to highlight these two. And the next one I have, on behalf of the citizens of Holyoke, I, Joshua Garcia, Mayor, hereby congratulate Vanessa Martínez for being recognized during Civic Learning Week. Prioritizing civic learning, Vanessa Martínez, a professor of anthropology. Did I say that right? Am I saying that word correctly?
Anthropology, yes.
I know I speak clearly, but sometimes these words mix me up. At Holyoke Community College, encourages students to get involved in and advocate for their communities. Her academic work is rooted in cultural humility and teaches students how they can learn more about community organizations and use their skills to raise awareness, funds for community needs. You can also frame this and hang it up in your living room. It's got my signature on it.
I'll probably just put it on my desk in the living room.
Sorry. Did you do them with Nick too?
Yeah.
Or the both?
That's where it is. Can I be in the picture too?
Well, we can get to give you later.
Come on.
That's for ACC?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you. And who can I give this to? You'll take it?
I'll frame it.
With all that being said, thank you all so much. I get the unique pleasure in being in this role, one person representing all interests and making the hard decisions that sometimes get celebrated, which is great. We love those, right, Madam Rep? Right, Councilor Anderson-Burgos? And sometimes do not. But either way, I felt like I've learned enough in this community, growing up in the town that raised me, the leaders that helped shape me, the teachers that helped shape me, to navigate with the tools available to me, with the values that have been instilled in my heart, to navigate that and make sure that we make those decisions, but still respect and acknowledge that the system is what we have, it's delicate, and doing anything and everything we can to not only maintain it, but in a very intentional way as possible, make it better. Thank you. And now it's my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce our state representative, Patricia Duffy.
Hi, folks. I love this initiative so much. I mean, being in public office, I know how important it is that we start early to get our kids engaged and really know what's going on in this very, very complicated world, this way too complicated world. So I just want to say a couple words about how great it is that this is happening here in Wistariahurst. I mean, what an incredible job Megan does and folks have done over the years. This could be just this staid, like one-faceted memorial to just one part of Holyoke's history, but no, this is like a living, vibrant, diverse, multicultural institution, and we're so proud to have Wistariahurst here representing all it does. Right? Right? You're totally right. And so that's why it's so appropriate that we're honoring Nick Cream and Vanessa Martínez, because both in how you teach in the classroom and how you model for your students that civic life is not just what I'm teaching you here in the classroom, it's how I'm engaged in the greater community. Holyoke is all the better for it, so we really appreciate that. So I also have proclamations. I don't know, Bridget, do you want to do the Senate proclamations at the same time? Does that? Yeah, let's do them both. So mine's larger, but has my name on it.
A lot nicer.
But fewer words. So the first one here is for Nick Cream, and this is the entire House of Representatives is recognizing you for your outstanding contribution to civic learning. Myself, so come up here.
And then this one is from the State Senate.
Oh, thank
Ours
you.
is just as big and blue.
Yes. Here we go. And next we have, you can stay.
Oh,
Yeah, this is yours.
This is mine, right? Thank you.
You can print, we're gonna have a whole wall of framed things now.
And also we have the House of Representatives giving our sincere congratulations to Vanessa Martínez for your outstanding contribution in civic life. Dr. Vanessa.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Of course. Yeah, why don't you-
Okay, let's do that.
Thank you.
Right here. Turn your arm off. More.
Do you want to be in one?
Thank you.
Do you want to be in a picture?
You guys coordinated outfits, might as well get in.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, baby girl. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
She's like, I got out of school for this. Thank you.
Congrats, friends. Congrats.
And now we're just going to hear a little bit from both of the educators. So Nick, if you could join us up front.
I'm kind of nervous. Okay, so I wouldn't be a history teacher or a civics educator if I didn't start by saying we should all be condemning the senseless loss of life in West Asia. We should all be speaking out against the U.S.'s unprovoked and aggressive war there. So let's make sure we're doing that. As Tupac said, we got money for war, we can't feed the poor, right? Okay, I want to begin my remarks today by saying a huge thank you to Penny, Emily, Megan, and all the other staff at Wistariahurst. We need to remember our history now more than ever. And institutions like this one are of paramount importance to keeping this history alive and accessible. I'm honored and humbled to receive this award from such an amazing organization. I also want to thank some of my educational mentors over the years. All teachers need good mentors, and need teachers that stick around and stay in Holyoke. I want to shout out my former ethnic studies colleagues, Dana Elchiller and Danielle Hayes, ELL teacher Jazz Bermudez, special education teacher Sarah Pacheco, who taught at Dean Tech for over 25 years. I'd also like to shout out two of my friends and comrades who have taught me so much about the history of Holyoke. Naomi Robles, who's here in the back, and Maria Cartagena. I wouldn't be able to share this knowledge with my students if I didn't have mentors and friends who have taught me so much about this city. And lastly, I'd like to thank all of my students. These young people push me to be a better teacher and a better person every single day. Sorry. I miss them right now. I'm supposed to be in class with them. I learn just as much or more from them as I teach them each day. They're brilliant, they're curious, they're resilient, and they're all deserving of educators who show them love and care every single day, in addition to teaching them. These students need teachers that stick around and don't teach in Holyoke for 2 years and spend the rest of their careers elsewhere. Our students deserve more than this. In order for us to keep showing up for our students and giving them the education they all truly deserve, we need a fair contract. The Holyoke Teachers Association has been bargaining with the school committee for over 13 months. We're asking for reasonable things that most districts around here already have. Things such as a work day and work year in line with these districts, one independent prep period per day, a salary schedule that respects education and experience and includes our wonderful vocational teachers for their industry experience as well. We deserve healthy and safe schools. Most importantly, we deserve to be treated with the respect, dignity, and autonomy that experienced professionals should be treated with. And just to note that although our work is for the teachers, this work is for the students. Right? I just want to make that very clear, that what we're saying is that our kids deserve to have people that stick around and that are able to be here and actually take care of their own needs so they can take care of the needs of the students and their families. Thank you all very much.
Thanks, Nick. Actually, you said so many things. I was like, oh, I can check that off. That was sad. I look around this room and I feel a lot of love and appreciation for who's here, including my little one. And it speaks to so many different moments in my life and the work that I've done here in Holyoke. I'm a transplant, but this place feels like home. And it's the first place outside of San Sebastián de Pepino, Puerto Rico, that really felt like home. And I'm very lucky. I want to tell you all a little bit about the project that got started here over 2 years ago that led me to this moment. It's just one moment that led me here. There are so many others, seeing so many of my amazing community partners and my colleagues and my friends and some of my former students who are truly amazing individuals, and I'm very lucky to be here. So this all came about because my health equity course that I teach has a built-in community-based learning project. And it was the beginning of August in 2023. And I realized that I wanted to change the project that I was working on. And not because the other one wasn't wonderful, but it had sort of reached an end. And I was on the Wistariahurst website looking for events, and I noticed that they had a COVID archive. And I reached out to Megan and Penny, And I said, tell me more about this COVID archive. Do you need any help? And we had a meeting. And Megan was relatively new to the position at the time as executive director. And she was like, well, you could help us with the COVID archive. We don't have a lot yet. People seem like they haven't been ready to talk. But there's also, I would really love to do a living conditions project, living conditions and health. Eventually put together an exhibit for Wistariahurst on, thinking about tenement housing and health conditions and health conditions now, right? History tells us a lot about the situations we're in now. And I said, well, why not both? So I divided a class of 10 students, upper level, 200 level course. I divided them in half and said, okay, we're gonna, you all are gonna work on COVID and you all are gonna work on living conditions. And we created a project and they both helped I put some things together. They gave me feedback and I was so excited. And the students did an amazing presentation at the end of that semester here in the music room, actually, for the community. And that was the beginning. And I've kept sort of innovating and the goal is, even my 100 level classes are now involved. They do interviews. They learn about oral history. They develop research skills. They develop the ability to ask some really cool questions and think about the relationship between COVID and culture and the relationship between living conditions and health. And it's been over 2 years of building out both of those archives. And now we're in a part of the Living Conditions project that we're also having students do their own collecting of archival material and newspaper visuals and their own photographs. Many students are also taking photographs around Holyoke. And so they're getting all of this amazing experience. And I feel so blessed to be able to just continue this project and, show students the importance of working in their community and feeling their work live on beyond them. So many students come in like, you're gonna make us do what? And then leave with such an appreciation for the questions that they ask, the work that individual humans are doing, community members, the work that many of you are doing in this community. And I'm very excited because one of my students asked me if I knew the mayor, and I said, well, so this semester one of my students is actually interviewing Mayor Garcia, and I'm very excited about that. And I just wanted to share a little bit about that project because it speaks to the work that I want to do. My colleague, where is he? There he is. Professor Gutierrez and I are we've developed Learning Communities, a team taught course that combines Latinx studies and anthropology, and it's going to be focused on community organizing, policy, and advocacy. And I'm so excited about that. I'm so excited to continue to innovate, to continue to work. My colleague Sasha Vians is there, and she is part of the executive team for the commission, the Hampden County Commission on the Status of Women. And all of this is just a taste of the work that makes me who I am, and I am very lucky to be supported and loved by so many of you in this room. And even if I don't know you or know you well, I hope I get a chance to, and I hope you know that for the rest of my life, I will support this community and do this work because that's how meaningful it is. It is who I am. So, thank you.
Well, thank you both so much for getting up here and speaking. I know it's a little bit hard. And it was hard to pick two educators because we have so many in this community and we're just so blessed to have so many dedicated to our students here. And so this ends our program for today, but I do want to plug, we have other events going on for Civic Learning Week. Tomorrow is the opening of our juried art show, Women in Liberty is the theme for the 250th. And then we also have Tessa Murphy-Rumboletti coming to give a talk about how government works and how it can work for you. And then on Sunday we have a historical reenactment through doing Mumbet Freeman, doing a talk about her. So we hope that you'll join us for any and all of these events. And as always, please check our website. We do programming all year round. And thank you again for joining us.